shortstop, number 6, Nick Caracasta.
The 2013 Northern Athletics Conference Baseball Tournament continues from Kapco Park on the Concordia University campus here in Mequon, Wisconsin. Perhaps it is championship Saturday for one as the field of six is dwindled down to 3. Top seed Concordia Chicago battles second seed Benedictine next here on the Concordia University of Wisconsin Sports Network. And a very pleasant good morning alongside Nathan Kerner. My name is Matt Menzel. Guaranteed 3 games today and perhaps maybe 1 tomorrow if that winner-takes-all elimination game is necessary at 10 a.m. Well, these are the 2 teams thus far through 2 days that have gone 2-0. You have the Concordia Chicago Cougars. They are 1 win away from tying the program record for wins in the season. They are 34-5, having won 12 consecutive games. And for Benedictine, they have tied their program record for wins in the season by picking up their 32nd win yesterday. They last won 32 games in the season back in 2000, and again sit at 32-8, and they have all of a sudden won 6 consecutive games, fresh off their victory last night, knocking off Aurora by a final score of 5-0. Our pitching matchup here in game 1, a couple of southpaws going at it, with Bobby Beelan on the hill for Concordia Chicago, and he will be opposed by Kevin Crowley, the lefty for Benedictine. During the course of the regular season, Benedictine won both get-togethers, winning 3-2, and then winning in convincing fashion in Game 2, 17-7 in 8 innings. That was back on the 30th of March down in Lisle, Illinois. And in fact, both of these pitchers saw results in that doubleheader as these teams have become very familiar with one another. In fact, they met twice last year in the NAC tournament, in which both teams would go on and win 1. So as we speak, Concordia Chicago being introduced up and down that third base line. They will be the home team in this matchup, Benedictine up and down that first base line as we get ready for 1 against 2 to get the third day of the 2013 NAC baseball tournament underway. At this time, our national anthem to honor America.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask at this time that we ask you to please rise. And those who are able, remove your hats as we honor America and those who defend our country with the playing of our national anthem.
The lights are on here at Kapco Park on this mostly cloudy start to this Saturday as we check out the batting order for the second-seeded Benedictine University Eagles. Leading things off in center field is Tim Hendricks, with Nick Caracasta, the shortstop, batting second, and the DH is Kevin Hendricks batting third. John Cervantes in right field bats cleanup with Ryan Mullen, at first base batting fifth. Mike Lushin in left field batting sixth, with Justin Kowalski, the catcher, batting seventh in place of Tom Higgins beyond the plate in this one, with Steve Kolkat at third base batting eighth, and Mike Lonnie, he's at second base hitting ninth. So once again for Benedictine, right now the top hitting team in this tournament, in their games played, they have put together a collective batting average of .343. It's Hendricks, Caracasta, and Kevin Hendricks, Cervantes, Mullen, and Lushin, Kowalski, Kolkat, and Lonnie. Defensively for Concordia Chicago, they came in as the top fielding team during the course of the regular season. From left to right field, Kyle Huber, along with Sean Miller and Dan LaDolce. In the infield from third to first base, you have Steven Zubricki, Robert Weiss, Joe Moran, and Derek Benninger. With Tony Barreto, he is beyond the plate catching Bobby Beelan. Beelan is 6'4", 215, a sophomore lefty out of Wheeling, Illinois. And he comes into the contest with 5 victories and 1 defeat, a 3.04 earn run average. Mike McLuhan, our home plate umpire, with Kevin Worth over at first base and Bob Jenkins over at third. The good guys in black this morning. So Tim Hendricks will lead things off in the left batter's box for Benedictine. Bobby Beelan getting the sign being flashed from Barreto. And we are underway here on perhaps Championship Saturday. The first pitch on the dot at 10 a.m. It's taken for strike 1 from Hendricks. 53 degrees your game time temperature. And a ball that misses count even up here at 1-1. Tim Hendricks batting .432 now. And again, that is tops for everyday players up and down this Benedictine lineup as he plays in his 41st ball game. Ball sent back and running the count now to a ball and 2 strikes. Tim Hendricks so far in this tournament hit the ball pretty well at 302 games at 3 of 10. Infield drawn back already for Concordia, Chicago. The 1-2 taken for strike 3, and a great start for Bobby Beelan here this morning. So Hendricks called out, and it brings up Nick Caracosta, the Benedictine shortstop. For Bobby Beelan, he's pitched for the first time since Game 1 of a doubleheader against MSOE. That taking place on Saturday, in which he lasted 6 innings, allowing just 1 run was earned. On 7 hits, he would strike out 2 and walk 2, but a no decision as Caracosta fouls it back. A no decision in what turned out to be a 3-2 victory over the Raiders and clinching the Cougars' 3rd NAC regular season championship. He also pitched but suffered the defeat at Benedictine back on the 30th of March. As the count even up at 1 ball, 1 strike to Caracosta. 3-2 loss. He lasted 7 innings, allowed all 3 of those runs earned on 6 hits. He would go on and strike out 3 and walk 3 the first time around against these Eagles. On a ball that misses, count goes now to 2 balls and a strike. Next offering is sent out of play over the stands first base side. Again, to no surprise, we mentioned Benedictine so far in the tournament among the 6 teams here. They've put together the best team batting average. They came into the tournament as the 2nd best hitting team in the entire nation, behind only Cal Lutheran. The 2-2 called strike 3, and Beelan dealing here to start the ball game with back-to-back called strike 3s. 2 down for Kevin Hendricks. And pitching has been a story for Concordia, Chicago. Granted, they used 4 pitchers, and things got tight late against Rockford yesterday morning. It's a ball missing low and away to Kevin Hendricks, but you had Dan Kloss, who was coming off an outstanding pitching performance in the tournament opener. That was back on Thursday against Wisconsin Lutheran. Missed on the outside of the count here at 2 balls and no strikes. Kevin Hendricks, he is second behind only Robert Weiss as the top individual hitter thus far in the tournament. He has put together a .556 average in his 2 tournament games. Ball on the outside, count now 3-0. And based on his 2 game performances, his overall average up to .376. The 3-0 missed on the outside, and so Beelan working away and around that strike zone to the Benedictine DH. And a 2-out walk extends this top of the first for John Cervantes. So the right fielder into the right batter's box. And Cervantes hitting .333 as he appears in his 41st ball game. Now stepping off the rubber does Bobby Beelan. Mentioned though, Benedictine already tying their program record for wins in the season. The last time they won 32 in a year. They qualified for the NCAA tournament 13 years ago. Now Cervantes behind 0-1, something they're looking to do again this time around. And in a tournament that, again, from 6 down to 3 of these 2 in Wisconsin Lutheran waiting in our 2nd game. And a ball missing down low. Aurora being eliminated last night. They had won 3 consecutive tournament championships. They'd been in the tournament championship game 4 years in a row. Aurora as the number 3 seed. The number 3 seed, not a spot you want in the NAC tournament. Ball escapes, and taking second base, Kevin Hendricks after the ball escaped the hand of Barreto into the backstop area. A great jump off that first base back, so a successful steal for Kevin Hendricks. He's in scoring position as he picks up now his 18th stolen base, his team best 18th steal of the year. The 2-1 lifted, foul territory, first base side. Benninger has it, and that's out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on in scoring position after the steal by Kevin Hendricks. It's the middle of 1, Benedictine nothing with Concordia Chicago coming up.
Eagles nothing, and the Cougars coming up. Today's game is brought to you by the Abramovich Company. ABC is the official clothing and apparel partner of Concordia, Wisconsin Athletics. ABC provides promotional products that work for their customers. Not just how many they can afford, but what works for them. Execution makes a difference at ABC, and that's what makes them stand out.
To the bottom of the first, let's check out the batting order for the Concordia Chicago Cougars. Leading things off, playing second base, Joe Moran, with Sean Miller in center field batting second. And Thomas Gear is the DH, he bats third. Derek Benninger at first base bats cleanup with Robert Weiss. Boy, he had quite a tournament already here in Mequon. He is the shortstop batting fifth, with Kyle Huber in left field batting sixth. Batting seventh and catching Tony Barreto, with Dan LaDolce, the right fielder, batting eighth, and Steven Zubricki at third base hitting ninth. Once again for the Cougars under third-year head coach Adam Smith, the 2013 NAC Coach of the Year. It's Moran, Miller, and Gear, Benninger, Weiss, and Huber, Barreto, LaDolce, and Zubricki. Defensively for Benedictine, Mike Lushin, Tim Hendricks, and John Cervantes from left to right field. Steve Kokant, along with Nick Caracasta, Mike Lonnie, and Ryan Mullen from third to first base. And Justin Kowalski is the battery mate to Kevin Crowley, the starting left-hander. So Crowley getting the nod. He's 6'2", 180, a senior from Chicago. Leading things off for Concordia Chicago, Joe Moran. He went 1 for 5 in the opener yesterday against Rockford College. And thus far on the year with the 1 for 5 performance, as he takes ball 1. You have seen his average hit .333 as he makes his 26th game appearance. These are the top 2 winning teams right now in the conference tournament. And the ball that misses down low. As Concordia Chicago in their first 2 tournament games have put together a .286 average. And again, no surprise, 1 and 2 respectively during the course of the regular season. And traditionally, Concordia Chicago, thanks to the aid of Coach Smith, has been one of the top hitting teams, not only in the conference, but the entire nation in his time on the River Forest, Illinois campus. Following the strike count now at 2-1 to Joe Moran. And a ball down low, right on the count now to 3 balls and a strike. And for Crowley, he is back on the hill for Benedictine. He is pitching for the first time since pitching on Sunday against Rockford College. Fastball for a strike, and the count runs full here at 3-2. No decision in the 13-4 victory against the Regents. He lasted 4 1/3, allowing 4 runs, 2 of which earned. And a called strike 3 as Joe Moran threw the bat trying to sell it. Instead, he will take a seat back in that third base dugout. So 1 up and 1 down for the center fielder, Sean Miller. The 4 runs allowed, 2 earned, 7 hits. He'd also go on and strike out 1 and walk 2. And he is 1-0 this season against Concordia Chicago, winning in game 1 of a doubleheader back on the 30th of March. First pitch strike to Miller. Miller thus far in the 2013 NAC baseball tournament has put together a .429 average in 2 ball games. Sends it back off the netting. He would finish officially 1 of 4 yesterday against Rockford College. He would score 1 run and an RBI in the game. Also would strike out. That coming after a 2-for-3 performance with a run batted in against Wisconsin Lutheran in the tournament opener. The 0-2, that's hit to left. Lushin coming on, he'll make a waist-high catch. And Miller retired for the second out. 2 down for the DH, Thomas Gear.
Designated hitter, number 6, Thomas Gear.
Gear hitting .384 as he appears in his 37th ball game. We mentioned right before the end of the top of the first inning, coming into the bottom of the first. The number 3 seed, not the seed you want in the NAC tournament. And it's now the 7th edition of the NAC baseball tournament. A ball that misses. Aurora, the number 3 seed this year. But the number 3 seed, and it's going to continue to ring true here in 2013, has never won a NAC baseball tournament. In fact, they have been in the tournament championship game 3 times, 0 for 3 in such instances, in which Concordia Chicago was the number 3 seed last year, losing to Aurora for the championship. Another ball that misses. County here 2 balls and a strike to Thomas Gear. But Aurora suffering that same fate as the previous 6 number 3 seeds have in the NAC tournament. Here's the 2-1. And a called strike count is even up at 2-2. Right now, the surprise story in the tournament, certainly Wisconsin Lutheran coming in as number 6 seed. They backed their way in, final weekend of the regular season. Among the 3 Amigos still playing for that championship today. To first base, knocked down by Mullen. And a nice play nonetheless with Ryan Mullen. Coming over to cover was Kevin Crowley to retire Thomas Gear. That's one way to stick with the baseball. 1, 2, 3 go the Cougars. After 1, scoreless.
Eagles 0, Cougars 0. The Chancery Pub and Restaurant wants to remind you to eat well, play hard, and be sure to share with others at the Chancery Pub and Restaurant in Mequon. Call the Chancery at 262-241-3450.
To the top of inning number 2 and scoreless between number 1 and number 2. Concordia Chicago and Benedictine to open up this Saturday of the 2013 NAC baseball tournament. Everything backed up a game after the schedule was changed Thursday. 3 out of the 4 games got in the 4th, postponed, and so the domino effect. What was expected to be a 2-game Saturday with a possibility of a 3rd becomes a guaranteed 3 games with the possibility of a game tomorrow morning now. And the reason you can't play 4 today is because one of these teams could be playing 4 games in one day if you went with that format. In fact, one of these teams may be playing 3 today. As ball 1 delivered to Ryan Mullen, the first baseman. Beelan back to work. And the count even up here at 1 ball and a strike. As for the rest of the totals on Bobby Beelan so far this season, this being his 8th appearance, 8th start. He has thrown 47 in the 3rd innings. Ball missing upstairs. He has allowed 16 runs all earned on 38 hits. He has struck out 34. He has walked 16 And the opposition batting .230 against. The 2-1, Mullen sent back, and it is up and off and over the grandstand here at Kapco Park. Mullen thus far is batting .274 as he plays in his 41st ball game. This being game 41 for Benedictine and for Concordia Chicago. It's game 40. Miller comes on. He'll make a shoulder-high catch to retire Ryan Mullen. One up and one down now for the left fielder, Mike Lushin. Lushin, he's hitting .393, and this is 35th ball game. Yesterday against Rockford College. I should say yesterday against, or 2 days ago against Concordia, Wisconsin. He would find himself 1 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. He would go 2 for 4 yesterday with an RBI against Aurora. In shallow center, going back and making the catch, Robert Weiss. 2 up and 2 down. Now you get to this Saturday and what is now, I guess, officially game number 8 of a possible 11. All these games start to run together. I feel like everybody's played everybody, but obviously not so the case. But again, the path to this particular game for Benedictine would see a 7-5 win on Thursday against Concordia, Wisconsin, in which the Falcons nearly played comeback and left the bases loaded in the 9th inning. And then yesterday knocking off Aurora 5-0, in which Benedictine scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second to take control. Off the swing and miss, counting it up at 1-1 to Justin Kowalski, the catcher. A rare spot for him in the lineup today. Ball sent up and out of play. But Justin making a 16th game appearance is batting .423. This after seeing Higgins behind the plate each of the first 2 games of the tournament. And now Beelan will step off the rubber. Now Concordia Chicago knocked off Wisconsin Lutheran at 6-3 on Thursday before winning yesterday over Rockford 7-5. Same situation in which Rockford had a great opportunity to pull off an upset and win in dramatic fashion, but a heck of a catch was made by Nick Caterno in left field to put an end to that ball game. Robbing Chris of a base hit that would have been in the alleyway and would have, in all likelihood, won the game for the Regents. Charging Zubricki on the go. Look out. That one was headed for a fan, not in the stands. And now taking second base, Justin Kowalski. That ball was airmailed on the go. Nearly taking a couple of athletic trainers with it. And Kowalski at second base. Not a bad way to make your NAC tournament debut. Reaching on a throwing error in E5. Concordia Chicago committing their 5th error of the tournament. And now Steve Colcat looking at strike 1. Said it a couple of times now that this was the best fielding team in the league. 97% during the course of the regular season, a season low 40 errors. They've committed 5 here in the tournament thus far. Benedictine has played the cleanest of all the teams. Count goes 0-2. They've committed 2 errors in their first 2 ball games combined. So far, the most errors, Aurora, and that's one of the reasons why they were ousted yesterday. They committed 7. Concordia, Wisconsin following suit as well with 6 errors of their own. Beating yourself with some miscues. Counting with a ball and 2 strikes. We have seen 7 games. We have seen a combined 25 errors thus far in the NAC tournament. That's part of the adjustment period, though, and for some, not used to playing with the all-turf field with the exception of the pitcher's mound. Adjustments made, and then trying to adjust to the bounce of the ball, the roll of the ball. Is a nice catch made out in center by Sean Miller. But we've also seen some outstanding defensive plays along the way, too, and there's another involving the Cougar center fielder. So Steve Colcat retired. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on. Middle of 2, scoreless in Mequon.
A great hotel that guests love. Holiday Inn Harborview is minutes from Concordia, Wisconsin, on the shores of Lake Michigan in beautiful downtown Port Washington. Look for their ad in today's game program or click on their logo at CUWFalcons.com. Go Falcons!
Our coverage of the 2013 NAC Baseball Tournament is brought to you in part by Taco Bell. Taco Bell, located in Mequon, is a proud sponsor of Concordia, Wisconsin Athletics. When you're at Taco Bell, remember to live Mas. We are living the high life here at Kapco Park as the 2013 NAC Baseball Tournament continues. Guaranteed 3 games today, and perhaps the automatic qualifier will be awarded to one of the 3 remaining teams by night's end. If not, brunch at Kapco Park tomorrow morning. As Derek Binninger takes ball 1 with Kevin Crowley back to work for Benedictine. Now, raise your hand in the broadcast booth if you thought Wisconsin Lutheran would still be here on this Saturday. There are not many hands going up, but they have, again, been the story as the number 6 seed. A ball that missed low and inside. 1 against 2, okay. You expect this with Concordia, Chicago, and Benedictine. If you base it on history, you would have fully expected Aurora to still be here. But again, Benedictine and Wisconsin Lutheran putting an end to the Spartans' reign of being in the tournament championship game. Counting out 3 balls and a strike. This will be the first time that Aurora is not in the tournament championship game since 2008 when Rockford beat Concordia, Chicago. A ball that misses and a leadoff walk delivered to Derek Binninger. In fact, Wisconsin Lutheran's trying to do something later on today that only one other team in the state of Wisconsin has done. That's qualify for the tournament championship game. Edgewood's the only other that can make that claim, and they did so, losing to Aurora back in 2010. So the Warriors representing the Badger State. Otherwise, it's Wisconsin versus Illinois on this Saturday. Back to first base goes Binninger. And to the credit for those teams from the state of Illinois, they have been dominant in the history of this NAC tournament. So a ball and no strikes. Now time is called. Already a conference to take place involving Kevin Crowley. After we would walk Derek Binninger, but then delivering that first pitch ball to Robert Weiss, the top hitting player in this NAC tournament. An .833 average in 2 games. .833 in 2 games for Robert Weiss. He has been incredible. He had 5 hits, 6 at-bats, an RBI. He has scored 3 runs, has a double, has walked on 2 occasions. And that's not even crediting him for his defense at shortstop. Weiss, awfully impressive. See if he keeps that going. Look at a bunt. Throw to first and staying close is Derek Binninger. We mentioned it yesterday in referencing Concordia, Chicago. Just a good, aggressive, fundamental baseball team. There's a reason, just watching them the last couple of days, you can see how this team was able to bring home the regular season championship. Ball skips away. And that's as good as a sacrifice bunt. In fact, better as Kowalski has to go back out in the backstop area. Binninger to second base. Then on the wild pitch. Based on his 2 days at the plate, Weiss, he's been able to up his season average to 338. He's ahead 2 balls to no strikes. Look at a bunt. Pitch inside that hit him. So Weiss continuing to find ways on any way imaginable. So a walk and a hit by pitch, and all of a sudden first and second. Nobody out, and Kyle Huber, the batter, as the infield, at least 3/4 of the infield coming to the aid of Kevin Crowley and just throwing out words of encouragement here. That's coming after Crowley got and recorded a 1-2-3 bottom of the first. Huber, he's hitting .305 as he makes his 38th game appearance. Opportunity here for the lefty. He's looking to bunt, and he takes ball 1. Huber against Rockford yesterday would go 0 for 3, but did manage to score a run after he would walk. Also striking out in 1 instance. And 1 ball to no strikes. Look at a bunt. And taking a strike count even up to 1-1. He had 1 hit in the tournament opener on Thursday. 1 of 3 with another run scored after he would walk again. He has been left on base a handful of times too. But the key is he's been getting on base. The 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Yeah, Benninger over at second base. Weiss at first. The winner of this game moves on to the tournament championship game. The loser plays right after this in an elimination game against Wisconsin Lutheran. Boy, you win this game, you're sitting nice and pretty going into the final game of this day. There's a ball that misses because then all of a sudden you need to lose twice to not win the tournament championship. You have to win once, and you're going to the NCAA regionals next week. A place Concordia, Chicago visited last season by way of an at-large. Benedictine trying to get back there. The 3-1, bouncer but foul first base side. Again, we mentioned that the team that won 32 games back in 2000 was an NCAA tournament qualifier. As Benedictine tries to make their way into the tournament championship. They have never been. Concordia, Chicago has every time they've qualified for the tournament. That being 5 of the previous 6 years, looking to make it 6 out of 7. And looking to win what would be their second ever tournament championship. Wisconsin Lutheran has never been. Payoff pitch, down low, and the bases full of Cougars. Benninger to third base, Weiss to second. It's been a walk, a hit by pitch, and a walk. And now Tony Barreto. So an opportunity for Barreto. So far on the year, he's batting .347. He makes his 26th game appearance. He is 25 of 72 with 10 runs batted in. Lead runner at third base, Benninger. Barreto to right. Long run to make for Cervantes. He'll make it into foul territory, but tagging up from third and scoring is Derek Benninger. And Concordia, Chicago, a 1-0 lead with 1 down here in the bottom of the second inning. RBI sac fly for Mr. Barreto, his 11th run batted in. And Benninger putting Concordia, Chicago on the scoreboard. Robert Weiss to third base. Huber stays put over at first base. And now Dan LaDolce, part of the NAC all-freshman team. One of a number of honorees for Concordia, Chicago. It seemed like anybody in their starting 9 was on some kind of an all-conference team when the awards were announced, and rightfully so a couple of days ago. And LaDolce taking the ball down low. Well-deserved. for a team that's right up there in hitting, number 2 in the conference, number 2 in that category, first in pitching, and first in defense. LaDolce, at the throw to first, back goes Kyle Huber as ahead 2 balls to no strikes. His batting average on the year up to .324 as he makes his 26th game appearance. He went 1 for 4 in yesterday's game against Rockford College. The 2-0. Boy, 3 balls, no strikes. Crowley has been everywhere but in the strike zone here in this second inning. Lead runner again at third base is Robert Weiss. Huber at first with second base wide open. And strike 1 to LaDolce with Zubricki on deck. And Concordia Chicago has done it without moving the bat. Got a couple of walks and a hit by pitch plus the sac fly. That coming after a 1-2-3 first inning. 3 balls and a strike. And again, the bases are loaded. So Weiss at third, Huber at second, LaDolce. And now Benedictine, they have activity in the bullpen. And what has been a forgettable start to this second for Crowley with 3 walks and a hit batter. He has thrown 34 pitches, 15 for strikes. And already the Benedictine coaching staff checking on the activity in that bullpen. One pitcher we've yet to see in this tournament is Chris Jordan, the NAC Pitcher of the Year. Well, if you look at his numbers, he's right up there, and I'm not sure you'd call him the ace, but a collection of talent in and around that bullpen, in that dugout, and one of the deeper pitching staffs that Benedictine has had in recent memory. 1-0 the count to Zubricki. And the count even up here at 1 ball, 1 strike. This a big out to get number 9 in the Concordia Chicago lineup, but even being in the number 9 spot, Zubricki is batting a very healthy .333. So it's no gimme by any stretch. Ball down low, run the count now to 2 balls and a strike. That seems to be a reoccurring theme, though, in this tournament, that number 9 spot with success. You factor Connor Vredeveld for Wisconsin Lutheran, one of the top hitters in this tournament. He's in that number 9 spot as well. The 2-1. Count even up as the ball flies over the first base stand. That toward the parking lot here at Kapco Park on this mostly cloudy 53-degree start to day 3 of the NAC baseball tournament. 2-2. Crowley a long look in. Working with Kowalski here this morning. And the count runs full of 3 balls and 2 strikes. This 10 a.m. time slot has become a regular for Concordia Chicago. All 3 of their games here at 10 in the morning, and perhaps another 10 a.m. date tomorrow. They will play again today at some point. First time all tournament, they will play 2 in a day. There's a base hit to left beyond the glove of Kocat. In the score, Weiss. Huber puts the brakes on. First of the game for the Cougars, and they have a 2-0 lead. Steven Zubricki, an RBI single. Robert Weiss scoring. Huber to third. LaDolce at second base. And back to the top of the order, the 7th batter in the inning, Joe Moran. Boy, the Cougars a couple of swings away from breaking this one wide open early. And Moran behind 0-1. A big bonus when you factor the way that Bobby Beelan has been pitching already through 2 innings. He has faced 4 in each inning, but one of those thanks to a walk, the other thanks to an E5. Otherwise, he has been spot on. Struck out the first 2 batters looking to start this ball game. Off the foul ball. Count 0-2. And Again with Kevin Crowley coming set. Concordia Chicago looking for redemption after they were swept by Benedictine during the course of the regular season. And again, one of those ended early because of the slaughter rule. The 0-2 fouled off. Not often teams have been able to sweep Concordia Chicago for, again, a team that comes in here having now won 24 of its last 26 ball games. Wisconsin Lutheran and Benedictine, a couple of teams that can make that claim. The only teams that can make that claim this season. The 0-2, again, foul off the netting and the backstop, and the count stays no balls, 2 strikes with the bases loaded and 1 down. Already a 2 spot here in the bottom of the second inning. Again, Crowley, long look in. Already thanks to a couple of foul balls by Joe Moran. He fouls off another. That's 3 consecutive foul balls by the Cougars leadoff man. Well, again, that second meeting between these two teams was 17-7. My, have the season's changed as the 0-2. You look back then at those scores, that's the conference opener for Concordia Chicago. Team predicted to finish in second place behind Aurora this year. You go away from that 0-2, and go figure, they have since rattled off 18 victories over their last 20 regular season conference games. And again, hoisting the regular season title, second time in 3 years. Lonnie over, and then Caracosta's relay, not in time, a 4-6 fielder's choice. In the score, Kyle Huber, 3-0 Concordia Chicago with 2 down. Dan LaDolce now your lead runner at third base. Zubricki retired over at second on the fielder's choice. Again, 4-6 on the putout. Relay was late. And Sean Miller, the 8th batter to step up to the plate here in the second. He flew out the left for out number 2 in the first. And back to first, Joe Moran. Moran so far in the year for Concordia Chicago, a team that has successfully stolen 63 bases coming in. 15 of those belong to the Cougar second baseman. That tops on the team, 15 of 17. Off the netting. Now for Benedictine, okay, you win your first 2 conference games. Going 17-5 during the course of the regular season in NAC play. And finishing tied for second with Aurora, but one of the tiebreaker based on the head-to-head against Concordia Chicago. On the strike call, count 0-2. But like Concordia Chicago, Benedictine exceeding expectations after they came in, predicted to finish third. And just beyond the Cougars. Well, they finished just beyond the Cougars, but again, 1st and 2 respectively. Caracosta will step on the second base back for the 6U on the fielder's choice. 8 come to the plate, 3 touch home. As Concordia Chicago picks up 1 hit, no errors, and a couple left on. Through 2, 3-0 Concordia Chicago.
Rent-A-Car prides itself on offering the best service and best price. That's their definition of value at Mayfair Rent-A-Car, the official rental car supplier of Concordia, Wisconsin Athletics.
Our coverage of the 2013 NAC Baseball Tournament is brought to you in part by ProGrass Synthetic Turf, the official turf provider for Concordia, Wisconsin Athletics. ProGrass, first in turf. As we head to the third, it's a 3-0 Concordia Chicago lead over Benedictine. And for the play-by-play of innings number 3 and 4, we turn the mic over to Nathan Kerner.
Thank you very much, Matt. It is Benedictine to the plate here. The second baseman, Mike Lonnie, finally rounding out the lineup here as he makes his first plate appearance of the day. And Bobby Beelan delivers ball 1 low. Bobby Beelan having a great day. In 2 innings pitched, he has struck out 2, walked 1, and another reached. The count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike on the outside corner. Lonnie, second baseman, averaging .326 coming into this game. As Beelan delivers, that's going to be sent foul down the third base line. 1-2 the count. Beelan leading a very, very effective defense here. This is, like I said, finally rounding out the batting lineup for the Eagles as Lonnie takes that one low. 2-2 the count now. Beelan throwing 37 pitches, delivers number 38. That's going to be grounded to second. Moran's on it. A quick 4-3 flip, and it's 1 away. That'll bring up center fielder Tim Hendricks. Tim Hendricks had a bit of a rough go of it yesterday in the game against Aurora. He was 0 for 5. He comes in here with a .429 average. He struck out in the first to open the game. One of the 4 left-handed hitters in this lineup. And the delivery, that's going to be strike 1 on the outside corner. Beelan, as I said, has not yet thrown his 40th pitch. He's at 39 pitches, 23 for strikes. As that one is sent to second. Diving stop by Moran, but he will not get up in time for the throw. Hendricks ends his hitless streak. It started yesterday. It's going to be ruled a single. Moran diving backhanded stop. Excellent defensive play, but it was a step too late to get the throw off. And Benedictine has a base runner as Nick Caracosta returns to the batter's box. Caracosta also struck out in the first inning. 2 strikeouts by Beelan to open the game. Beelan checks his runner and delivers. Caracosta takes ball 1 low. It's overcast day and windy here as Caracosta takes a step out and back into the batter's box. With Tim Hendricks on first, Beelan checks. And the 1-0. Oh, he'll go back to first. Keep Hendricks honest. Hendricks. Excellent base runner that he is. And Beelan will deliver. Caracosta will take that one inside for ball 2. Hendricks on first, 2-0 the count. Caracosta stepping back in. And Beelan delivers. That's going to be strike 1 on the outside corner. Beelan's been eyeing Tim Hendricks. Hendricks, he of the 17 stolen bases, tied with his brother Kevin Hendricks for the lead on this Benedictine squad. As Beelan goes back to first wisely, Hendricks taking a bit of a lead out there. As mentioned, the Hendricks brothers tied for leading Benedictine in stolen bases this season with 17. Beelan's been dealing back to first. Keep Tim Hendricks honest. Beelan checks Hendricks one more time and delivers the 2-1. That's going to be sent to second. Moran's got it. Flip to the 6. Turn 2 in time. A 4-6-3 double play, and this side is retired. So Benedictine manages to get away with a base hit, but the Cougars dodged the bullet on the 4-6-3 double play. And we are going to the bottom of 3. Don't go away. More to come on the Concordia Sports Network.
3600. Personalized Travel and Tours is the official transportation partner of Concordia, Wisconsin Athletics.
Thomas Gear set the lead off here for Concordia Chicago. Concordia Chicago coming into the bottom of 3 with a 3-0 lead over the Benedictine Eagles. Gear grounded into a 3-1 and was out at first in the first inning. This is his second plate appearance. Left-handed batter, facing left-handed pitcher as Crowley delivers that one low and outside for ball 1. Crowley having a bit of a rough inning, facing 8 batters. He delivers. That one is outside for ball 2. Crowley has thrown 52 pitches. He has 1 strikeout. He's walked 3, and all 3 runs are earned. He's allowed 1 hit. As Crowley delivers, and it is strike 1 right down the pike. And we have some rain developing here at Kapco Park. It's been a bit of an issue here since the tournament began as Crowley delivers. That one's high. Count going to 3-1. It has been a gray May, so to speak, here in the state of Wisconsin. As Crowley delivers, gets set to deliver the 3-1 pitch, and here it comes. Gear will take ball 4, and Crowley has walked his 4th batter, and now he has a runner on first. Some action beginning to develop here in the Benedictine bullpen. Coming up, Derek Benninger coming up here. He walked in the second and reached second on a wild pitch, and he was the first Cougar to cross the plate in that 3-run second inning. The rain is becoming visible out there. Crowley checks the runner and delivers. That's going to be sent through the gap, pass short for a base hit to left center. Rounding second is Gear. Gear will go to third. No throw is going to be in time. A double by Derek Benninger puts 2 runners in scoring position. Gear moves to third. That went right past the shortstop. Dying for it was Caracasa, but it got just beyond his glove and into left center. And the umpires are consulting now as the rain is becoming more and more visible and obvious here. I don't know if you can actually hear it here audibly on the microphone. As Robert Weiss steps to the plate, he's got Benninger on second, Gear on third with nobody out. And the Cougars are sitting pretty right now with their 3-0 lead and 2 on and nobody out. The delivery by Crowley. That's going to be sent flying foul, just foul on the left field side. Line drive, if that would have landed about 3 feet to the right, would have landed in fair territory. And Benedictine's woes would be continuing. I don't know if you can actually hear it audibly in the audio, but the rain is pretty loud up against the top of the press box here in Kapco Park. As Crowley delivers the 0-1 pitch with 2 on. Strike 2 right down the pike, and the count goes to 0-2. Gear on third, Benninger on second after the double. Wise is at the plate, and the 0-2 pitch from Crowley is delivered. That's going to be sent towards short. Backhanding is Caracasa. Caracasa will go to first. Easy out, a quick 6-3, and the runners stay put. Weiss is retired. Gear and Benninger stay put on third and second, respectively. That'll bring up Kyle Huber, who walked in the second and was the third Cougar to cross the plate. Crowley had a bit of a rough second inning, so to speak, with facing 8 batters. Picking up 3 earned runs, and the rain starts coming down a little harder as Crowley faces the lefty Huber and delivers. Huber takes ball 1 just outside. 1-0 the count with 1 out and 2 on. Crowley throwing in his 60th pitch there on that delivery. And the rain here coming in at a bit of a 45-degree angle. Going off and on. They're looking at the mound right now, the umpire crew, deciding whether or not to delay it or continue. And the players are leaving the field. It looks like a rain delay may be going into effect here as the officials are going to be consulting. And it has been officially announced. There will be a weather delay here. 1 out into the bottom of 3. Matt Menzel's going to come back on here for just a few minutes, so we're going to go into rain delay here.
Well, the crazy thing, too, about this rain is if you look at the radar, there isn't much, if anything, on that radar. But, again, with that wind factor as well, it's coming down at a pretty good clip. And so, again, the tarp will make its way to the pitcher's mound. And, again, we will find ourselves in a rain delay mode for the second time in this tournament. That dating back to Thursday, and so we'll step aside for the time being, but we play on with 1 out here in the home half of the 3-0 lead for Concordia Chicago. Again, if you're just joining us, we are in the bottom of inning number 3, but a rain delay right now taking place between Concordia Chicago and Benedictine, a small pocket out of nowhere, hampering the Mequon area as we speak, and raining enough, but the wind also picking up to cause a monsoon-like atmosphere here at Kapco Park, but warranting the delay. Both teams back to their respective dugouts for the time being. The official start time of this rain delay at 10:51, so 4 minutes young thus far What's a 3-0 lead for Concordia Chicago over Benedictine. Kyle Huber will be the batter when play resumes. Runners at second. Over at third base, and Derek Binninger over at second when play resumes. So we'll keep you posted here from